Come see this thing 1543, Voice of Collectivism, Musk Made America, Gandalf, the HHH. This is a series where I summarize a rantatonne post made up of at least 3 things I've read, seen, or heard. First question. Was the Voice of America speaking for the CCP? I was in New York City when Trump won his first term and went down to the Union Square station to get all the post-its on the wall that the progressives had posted their fears about what the Trump train to Magaland would be, and started a series about that. Well, I was just thinking, okay, let me try and relate to them and see what are they fearing from Trump. Then I tried to get to that mindset, and then I thought it would be even cool to actually go on further and actually get in touch with them and see, was he as horrible as you thought he was? And I don't think he is compared to the things that are in there, but maybe. Then on the inverse, there's the people who supported Trump, and they had this idea that finally it wasn't just going to be politics as usual anymore. And those two things kind of come together in this first section. Talking about Carrie Lake, who's one of those kind of people who's like, okay, this is the new MAGA people that Trump is finally putting in this term of his. And then she's taking down the Voice of America, which is a leftist welfare state jobs program where those people who think America first in the sense that America itself should be first in world power, for them, they're thinking, okay, this is something we can get jobs on, we can get money from the state. The politicians can take it off as, hey, this is a policy thing that I've won. The literati can go and say, oh, look at us in the global literati circles, like, look how good America is helping these poor little people who don't know what to do in their little oppressive countries. So they have that kind of thing going on. So the people involved with it don't actually care about the actual message being sent. It's about them. So for them, when the CCP gets in, they're like, we don't care if the CCP is using it for its own things. So that's something being discovered here. Leads us to the next question of, will the America Party finally give Americans a political party? So Trump is clearly doing things. There's things that he campaigned on. He put people in certain positions, and he can point to and say, look, I campaigned on this. This is actually what I've achieved. But does that mean that the system is all of a sudden going to change significantly? No. You're not all of a sudden going to see the politics as usual change. Trump is not politics, political theater in a sense. He comes from like reality TV, so it's like poly TV theater. So the presentation is different, but I'm seeing people, a very visible example being Elon Musk went into the system with hopes of changing things, going through this it's kind of a tough way to fuck around with someone and find out they're not quite the person that you thought they were going to be. And in this section, along with other things, Robert Barnes talks about Elon Musk finally starting the America Party and just some of the frustrations or some of the mentality of some of the more MAGA America first, as in looking after Americans first supporters of Trump are having as he's doing the politics as usual sort of things that he seems to be doing. Next question, can fellowship with libertarians destroy the state's ring of power? I will go over some of those Epstein news in the next couple of days, and I don't even know what to call what just happened in the last few days. I mean, I'm informed enough about the inherent nature of the state to know that it's at best a predatory organism on civilization that is not constituted to serve general human flourishing, that it's instead evolved to thrive on the needs and desires of those willing and able to serve and sustain it. And at its worst, it's as genuinely a corrupting an agency of pure evil as you'll find outside of fantasy books, where there are incorrigible evils that are evil for the sake of being evil because it's genetically coded in them to be evil. Okay, you don't see that Fellowship of the Ring meeting and think, why aren't they talking about just entering Mordor and then taking positions up in Barad-dûr, getting the ear of Sauron, and then exposing all the most evil Mordorians to the rest of Middle-earth, and then Mordor will just be reformed and just join the rest of Middle-earth peacefully. Now, but to that end, in this section, there's a video of Hans Hermann Hoppe, the Gandalf of Austrian economics, that liberty seekers like Elon Musk and others could stand listening to.